Listeners be advised. The Soliloquy podcast discuss matters related to the human experience and many that are sexual in nature. Due to this, some conversations may surround triggering topics such as sexual violence, self harm, abuse, and much more. Please be advised a list of crisis and psychological resources will be available in the show notes of this episode. With that said, let's get started with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop from the overhead. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally as oxygen is flowing even if the mask is not inflated. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. This is your favorite host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slaytor Jackson. Book link is in the show notes. Also known by you freaky motherfuckers out there, Sebastian Adams. Also, some of those links are in the fucking show notes as well. But be careful what you click on, because if you click on the wrong thing and something else pop up, I cannot say anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Who the fuck are you? What you mean you clicked on something and you saw porn? I don't know what that is.
It doesn't exist.
Look.
It never happened.
It never happened. I don't know. Who is that? Sebastian. Who that? Y'all, on today's episode, we're talking about no facts, no films, no old people. So disgusting. I still see that shit today on these apps. I thought it was done, but it's still a thing. It's still a thing. But on today's episode, I have my friend Quitman Alexander, the fabulous, the wonderful. And look at the smile, y'all. I swear, y'all, if y'all see this motherfucker smile, y'all want to smile too. It's just one of those smiles that just give you what you need to have gotten. Like, that's all I know. So, do you mind letting everybody know what you're up to? Know a little bit about you and all that other good stuff about your shop, well, how they can purchase and how they can get a custom made beautiful gown. Just let the people know about you.
Well, the people all across the podcast lands. Like I said, my name is Quitman Alexander. I'm a designer. I do makeup and hair as well, specializing in on-set hair and makeup. Like, that's my jam. I guess you can find me on Instagram at slays_daily. A lot of my work isn't on there though, by the way.
Do better. They are on Facebook. I know that. Update your IG so people could look at all your beautiful stuff.
Yes, I will be posting. I'll do a post. I promise.
Okay. I'm going to make sure I'm going to get this IG so we can put it in the show notes so y'all can have a way to communicate and connect with this motherfucker over here. But he has to send me that first. But I'm going to make sure we have that available to you all, because even if you are not going to purchase anything, you still should look at the beautiful work that he does, just in case if you know somebody who may want something that he creates. And look, like I said, be giving me the life that I need, and I don't even wear dresses. So,
I mean, you can if you want to.
You're right. Oh, I look good in a dress. That's what I do know. Huh?
That yam loaf you got.
Look. These thighs save lives, and they end world hunger. That's what I do know. Oh God. Okay.
You're feeding the children.
Oh God, no.
Let them eat, not the children. I mean, like the girls, the gruffs.
I know what you mean. I'm just messing with you. Yes, yes. Feed the hungry. Yes, yes. You thirsty hoes. Um, okay, getting into the episode. What we talk? We talking about no fats, no films, no old people. No fats, no film, no old people. No fats, no films, no old people. Just saying that. Did anybody feel offended? Like, I hope you did, because it's really demeaning. You Before we even get into the actual conversation, because this just popped up. I remember how many people used to put HWP on their profiles, most definitely like grinder spaces. Like, and for those who don't know what HWP mean, that means height, weight, proportionate. And I hated that because that never, like, that doesn't say anything, because one, your height, your weight proportions varies. There's no set height weight proportion that is actually going to be universal for anybody. Like, it doesn't, like, you can be like 280 pounds and that would be strictly nothing but muscles, and you look like you have pretty much like a dad bod, but a little bit more, you know, with a six pack, and you're like 280 pounds and you're just like, you're not height weight proportionate, because that's what the ideology or the ideas that people were putting out when they put that. It's like, that doesn't match up. It never matches up. I just never understood why that became such a popular thing within these queer spaces.
You know what I think?
Mm-hmm.
I think with most marginalized groups, we don't, you know what? And I'm about to drop a bomb. So get your
Blow it up.
parachute.
Blow it up.
I think we don't want equality or equity. We want privilege.
Mm.
And the quickest way to gain privilege is to exclude another group of people.
Mm.
And so I think that that's the biggest issue.
Child, you said a word right there. Oh my God. Child, I think, was that an earthquake? Because some shit was just shaking. Oh my God. He said marginalized groups just want privilege. And I can see that. Because honestly, the quickest persons are the easiest people to demean, ostracize, and otherize are those people who fit those categories as no fats. Because look, in heteronormative spaces, it was common to disrespect, make fat bigger people the ass of the jokes, or just ostracize them because of their size. Either way, then you have just no femmes, and just feminine presenting people, women in general, are already ostracized in heteronormative spaces and oppressed. So that's another way that you can have that privilege within queer spaces. And then no old people, and we definitely don't give a damn about the elderly in this damn country. So that's just obvious. So it's like, I see that. Damn, that spoke volumes.
I mean, but then in that same token, when it comes to dating, preferences is one thing and discrimination is another.
Mm.
Like it's one way to say, like, hey, I'm going to converse with you. You're not what I usually look for in a person, but I'm not going to make you feel bad for being yourself.
Mm.
And I don't think that that's done enough.
It's not.
But then there's also the thing where that can happen, and then the person can be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna choose to not hear what you just said, and I'm going to continue to treat you as if we're going to go further.
Mm.
Like
True.
that's a thing too.
It is. It is. I've actually experienced that. Um, like, I've mentioned it multiple times on the podcast about me being open to dating a white person, but also hesitant around that as well. And just clearly saying, okay, hey, I'm not sexually attracted to you, but we can actually still have conversations, because I don't mind that at all. And then this same person is still asking me about potentially hooking up, having sex and stuff like that, and to the point where I'm just like, you know what, we just cannot communicate at all anymore. Because I already told you that this is not going to go to that space, and here you are still trying to make that happen, and it's just not. And this has happened with some Black people, some people of other marginalized groups too. And it's just like, I just know my interest in at this point in time, and it's just not you, and that should be okay. And I don't, yeah, I haven't been that person, thankfully, but I I've seen that happen though. But it's a very uncomfortable position to be in, most definitely, if you're just being kind to that person, just welcoming and just seeing them just for who they are. But that also makes it hard for other people who might be on that receiving end as well, to be receptive of the possibility of somebody not trying to do that too. So I see it on both sides. It's wild. But to go into the conversation, well, this is actually kind of going off of that too, because we were talking about how people are often caught up on the visual things, and that's like what other people think of their relationships, or what that Instagram look, that Instagram couple kind of thing. So what comments do you have about that?
For me, I haven't come across an Instagram couple that I've deemed to be goals.
Same.
I mean, everybody has small things that, we aspire to on a daily sometime. But for the most part, like, these people are regular.
Mm-hmm.
They're regular people. They're just regular.
Mm-hmm. Like I sorry, I've yet, like you said, I've yet to find any couple that I truly saw as goals. Yeah. If I see a couple loving each other, I might say goals. But it's that aspect of, that mutual love, not the way that you all, the individuals necessarily present themselves. Like when you have, like how a lot of people use Beyonce and Jay-Z as being their ideal couple, or their what they see their relationship being, or what other even with the Rihanna situation, wanting to model their relationships after Rihanna. And I get that a lot of this is due to people not actually having actual representation of mutual love from their own upbringing. So they're just finding that look wherever they can and trying to mimic that. But there's a point where you have to come to where you recognize that you need to look at what is goals for you, and not model yourself after this celebrity or that celebrity, or your favorite, your whoever you're standing at the moment.
I totally agree with that.
So what because we all have certain things that we might consider like a deal breaker, or something like that. Do you have any hard no's? The Holiloquy podcast focuses on the variability of sexual expression. When it comes to sexual expression, we often depend on pornography to illustrate how one must perform sexually. For those who have not learned this by now, the stuff you see in porn is not real. Pornography provides a singular perspective of sexual expression that is not often the reality we see during our own sexual encounters. The Holiloquy podcast is a conversation that takes you outside of the compressed box of what many know about sex. Some of the topics we discuss includes kinks, condom usage, status disclosure, and past sexual experiences. The Holiloquy podcast steps out on sexual norms and recognizes that the norm is not the only normal. Subscribe today and join the conversation. We might consider like a deal breaker, or something like that. Do you have any hard no's?
What would be a hard no for me?
You tell me.
Scent is very important to me.
Well, you said scent?
Yes.
As in smells or common sense? Oh.
However.
Oh, you said both. All right, so let's go on the smell side of things first before we go on common sense. I'm done.
So I think a deal breaker for me would be like if someone smells sour, or like if they're, you know how some people are into like man scent?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. Mm-mm.
Mm.
The only man scent I want to be smelling is if there's an undertone of man scent under your cologne, like if your biology is working with your fragrance of choice and it just smells beautiful, yes, very that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just smell like, oh, I said this at work the other day, but I had a coworker that was smelly, and how I describe the scent, and maybe you'll smell it when I describe it. Okay. So he smelled like, have you ever been to a public like rec center?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you know how when the guys are playing basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you close your eyes, you can hear the heat. Like you can hear the sound of the buzzing of the AC unit that's not blowing out cold air. Or like if you picture yourself outside in the summertime and you can hear those little bugs,
Mm-hmm.
that's what he smelled like hot heat, and it was just not good.
Mm.
That was the biggest turn off. And he had a little cake back there too, but I was just like, mm-mm.
See, I was actually about to ask, is it because was it a lack of attraction that made the scent less appealing, or was it just um the scent itself that made him less appealing? Because it's like, sometimes you might be okay with someone that you find extremely attractive, right? Their hot sweatiness and musk, versus someone that you just have no absolute sexual attraction to. Do you think the sexual attraction is the thing that weighed heavily, or the lack of sexual attraction weighed heavily on your disdain for their smell, or was it just regardless of the sexual appeal that the smell would have just turned you off regardless?
I think, in all honesty, because I'm kind of vanilla when it comes to sexual interactions with people, so it doesn't happen often or frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but because of that, I find myself able to be attracted to people I normally wouldn't look at in that way. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of find something not necessarily appealing, but something I don't even know the word I'm looking for. But I can usually find it in someone.
Mm.
But swamp ass is not one of the things.
Well, I'm just gonna say that day that person was depressed, and they just, I don't know. I'm just making up stories about this person in their life. I'm not gonna say they were depressed. It was a sweaty day.
Tired or too depressed to listen. I keep oils in my purse.
Mm.
I keep lotion in my bag. I've brought lotion to work to keep behind the register just in case. There's a tube of deodorant floating around in my car at any given point. There's no excuse.
Well, you're right. You're right. If you're making the smelling good that accessible, you're right. You're right.
I don't want to shame anyone that's into swamp ass. If you're into swamp ass out there, I am so sorry. But I will save it for you. I promise.
It's the fact that you just keep calling it swamp ass.
That's
That's going to be the name of the episode. I'm just letting you know. It's going to be swamp ass. Oh my God. So the other thing is a hard no was common sense.
Mhm.
So why common sense? I get it, but I just want to know.
Mm, I think, and when I say common sense, more specifically, people that don't have an original thought in their brains
Mm.
and people that seek validation from others in a way that debilitates them from making their own decisions.
Oh, I get that. See that goes that really connects to the no fats, no femmes, no old people thing, because that's the one thing that I found very common is that people would be interested like in a dude like me and still have that on their profile, and it's just like the math is definitely not mathing. How can you not be interested in fats and still be reaching out to me and then try to make me feel special by calling me an exception? And it's like, look, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but for me, I feel like I'm the finest motherfucker on the planet. So
Period.
I'm like, I know my greatness and I'm glad that you recognize it, but you're not going to make me feel special because you want to make me an exception. You should already recognize that before you put that on your profile. Like that kind of mentality of seeking other people's validation is really a turn off for me. That's a hard no for me as well. Cause like if you're coming into spaces, most definitely like with my friend group, because I have a variety of people that I'm friends with. That can be someone who's trans, that can be someone who's big, someone who's skinny, someone who's muscular, someone who might be not no I don't really associate with any races, so I can't even say that. Somebody whose grandma's a racist.
You never know.
Oh yeah, you never know, you're right.
New racists are so evolved.
These new ones
It's
are
scary.
evolved. Yeah, you're right, you're right, you never know. But it's like I have a very broad range of friends, and if you out here against old people, against film people, against fat people, against any against trans people especially, then we can't rock together. We can't be friends like that. We can't really be in a relationship, because I need somebody who's going to be welcoming of all people and not just ostracize somebody just because they don't fit the image that you want to be out there about yourself. That you don't you're blocking off these possibilities because they don't fit a certain image.
Right.
What other hard no's do you have?
Mm, hmm. I think I think I've truly just kind of been very open.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, I take that back. A
Oh.
hard no, a hard no. And this happened recently. So this is why it's fresh. This is why I know it's a hard no for me. Okay. So picture it. Sicily,
Oh
19.
my God.
Okay. So I'm a member of the apps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy hit me up. He had hit me up like before, and then I deleted, and then he hit me up again, and I deleted. Not because of him, but just in general. Because
Mm-hmm.
some days I want to be a member of the apps, and then some days I'm just like, no thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So he hit me up on multiple occasions, and this last time he hit me up, I was like, wait, didn't we have to block each other or something?
Ooh, child.
And then it all came back to me. So the reason was, when it comes to meeting up with people, I'm very reluctant because first and foremost, like I don't need you, I don't want you, I don't have to have anything from anyone. Um, so there's where majority of my reluctance is.
Mm-hmm.
And like I kind of got vibes from him anyway. So it was like something about you isn't meshing with me. And so um I a hard no for me is when someone gaslights you in a way that makes you reevaluate your interactions with them.
Mm.
Like, for instance, we were chatting and I remembered the whole blocking incident. And then it was like, okay, cool, we got past it. Cool. But then it was like, well, when can we meet up? And I was just like, well, this is the root of the reason that you blocked me, because I was not ready or did not have the time.
Mm.
Because she's the busy man, you know.
She makes
But it was
money.
like, yeah, I gotta get this money. I'm a single parent out here in these streets.
So done.
So if there are any sugar daddies out there, I'm just
Oh my
letting you know
god.
I'm available. I'm available. Okay.
What is with you and shoot your shot on this damn podcast?
This is an international stage, okay?
It really is. It really is.
They're gonna dub this show in Japanese at some point, and I just want to be around for it, okay?
All right.
So, okay, we get back around to the whole blocking thing. Um, he was like, see, you out here playing games and you this and you that, and I just don't understand. Like, and I was just like, okay. I was like, I'm not even gonna give you the satisfaction. I'm gonna allow you to have this conversation with yourself. And then here we back are at stage one, at the blocking again. Like, you've come full circle, and I love that for you.
No, I get that though. I get that. So now you got me talk about my personal shit, which I'm all for. So I have a regular, right? And my regular be on some other shit, and I just let them do whatever the fuck they need to do, because I'm just like, that's your problem, because I'm just gonna be me, and I'm still gonna be good. I'm still gonna be Gucci, because guess what? I can find another like you. So it is what it is. So this same regular, Ari, this is before they became to that point of being a regular. Ari knew that they did not want a relationship, which was great for me, because I'm not looking for that with this person either. And I was more on the side of, we could be friends and all this other stuff, friends with benefits. Who cares? I do like somebody I could chill, play space with every now and again, and then we could fuck, great times. But they didn't like the friendship side of things, so it just became strictly about sex, and that's fine with me too. So I could keep shit surface level. And there was this one thing that happened. They got upset and all this other shit, and me communicating, okay, so what do you want? Are you trying to come over now, later? I don't know what you're saying here. Can you clear it up so I know? Because at the time, their vehicle's messing up, and they wanted me to come pick them up, and I'm like, okay, I can, whatever, but at least communicate with me enough to know when I should be leaving. So they got upset. I don't know what happened, ended up blocking me, and I was like, it is what it is. My life is still good over here. A couple months passed, and then they hit me up on a different app, and just like, oh, I thought you would still be upset with me, so I haven't reached out. And I'm like, nigga, I wasn't thinking about you. I'm living my own life over here. You were not the forefront of my mind, but it's great to communicate with you again. It's like, no, I wasn't upset. You just was on some other shit. So fast forward some, I guess they just got a pattern of not communicating things. And recently, it got to a point where he was like, "Oh, well, I forgot what his side of the argument was, because I wasn't arguing with the motherfucker, because I don't got the time. Because I just want clarity on what we're talking about." And it got to a point where he was like, I should just block you again. I was like, feel free to block me. I'm going to be great regardless. and he looked at, I don't know what happened on that end, but that was like my last message that I sent. And 3 weeks pass, I don't know how long. Then I get a message about, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was going through that day. And I was like, motherfucker, why are you making sex hard?
Listen, you have those problems when the ass is assing. You should be
Sounds
used to it by now, right?
Huh?
You should be used to it by now, right? Like,
this is why I don't have sex. This is why I actually do have sex. I have a lot of sex. Well, not right now. I'm going through a dry spell. Break the dry spell, Lord. Break the dry spell. Why you gave me that face?
are you now becoming the person that's shooting their shot on this podcast? Ooh.
Oh no, I only shoot my shot for some FinDom shit. So if you out here trying to have me control your finances, because I
So
will
glad
shoot
you
the
mentioned
fuck
that.
out of you. Huh?
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Ooh, what's up?
Yeah. That's why I'm here. That's my sole purpose of the episode.
I cannot. I cannot.
You know, they have that saying, what can Brown do for you?
Shut the hell up. A lot.
What can I do for your money?
Well, I could deliver, we deliver packages around here, and we talking about the other kind.
The only thing you're gonna get from me is a statement, a credit card statement, and I'm gonna scan it, and
that's it. I'm done. I'm here for it. Shit. But like, see, this is why I stress it so much, that it is important to know your worth, because like, even when I think back to those days when I was allowing people's profiles and their statements of no fat, no femmes, no old people to impact my mental health. I'm glad I got over that, because it's like, this is why in the book, which is also linked in the show notes, in my book, I mentioned how, for me, having sex with me is a privilege, is a blessing, and not everybody's worth a blessing. I'm sorry. Like, you got to do the work to get the stuff over here. What they say, prayer without work is dead. So
amen.
I'm not giving you life. If you cannot show up and do what is necessary, I'm not going to give you the life that you think that you deserve, because you ain't worth it.
If you are not a ram in the bush, okay.
We taking to church. Child, this is a forbidden fruit that you will never get used to. That's all I know.
Period.
See, we cannot. This is the last episode that I'm doing with Quitting, y'all, because it's getting messy. I'm joking.
Oh no,
I'm joking. We got a lot more coming.
I'm actually, I didn't want to say this today, but I'm actually your new co-host. Welcome to the Holiloquy podcast.
Not this motherfucker just making up shit. I can't.
Shane, okay. Shout out to Shane. Hey, boo.
Oh yeah, Shane. We were talking about you earlier. He loves you, and he loves you. You got fans, bitch. You got fans. That's all I know. They hate me, but they love you. So that's what I need you to know. I'm joking. People love me too.
Yes,
But,
you're my favorite too.
It's interesting hearing back from people who listens to the show and whatnot, and then they send me messages and just like, I love your friends, and I'm like, I love them too. They wouldn't be my friends if I didn't. Like, you got to curate your friends, people. Not everybody is deserving of your space. Remember that. No fats, no films, no old people. Let me stop before somebody like, how dare you say that?
The girls are gonna come for you.
And it'll be all right. I can defend myself. But going back to what we're supposed to be talking about. So one of the things that we were discussing in drafting up this episode was first impressions. I do see the value in first impressions, but I also, from my own experience throughout life, I never relied heavily on first impressions because my first impressions either they can be correct when it comes to my first impression of the vibe and energy that a person's giving off, or incorrect in terms of if I hold up, something happened. So, did your phone die? Oh, hold up. Did your phone die?
It did. They got me. Oh my God.
And as you should know, I don't really edit out all the things that happen. So it's really going to be a moment where I'm going to be like saying what I was saying because we're going into first impressions, right? And
Uh-huh.
did I notice that it just went all out, right? And it's probably just going to come back in because I was like, oh shit, something went wrong. It's probably just going to come back in to me like, oh, did your phone die?
It was a scheme that Todd set up to come to you with the bullshit.
Oh. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, okay. Okay. We good. All right. So, first impressions. All right. I forgot exactly what I was saying. It'll be on the recording. So, y'all try to follow whatever the fuck I was saying on that damn recording. So, well, earlier in the episode, just follow that shit. So, how are you with first impressions? Do they tend to stick? Do your thoughts change, or do you hold first impressions up to like a high esteem, or where are you on that spectrum?
Listen, I take people for what they are in that moment because it can change. It changes all the time, quite frequently. I know I'm not like, I feel like I've brought up work several times, and that's not me. But okay, so get this. I back before I started working at H&M, I got the interview, right?
Mhm.
After like turning in a resume, I was being really extra. Like when I say extra, I mean like, you know, it could have been like a Fortune 500 company at this point because I had my resume printed on a lovely cardstock. Okay.
Ooh.
Yes, I did.
Oh my, you
Yes.
came up in
So
there. You was like, bitch, you hire me no matter what.
right. I was like, here you are. Do you need another copy? I have one.
Oh.
So I interviewed like it was a group interview. And apparently there was supposed to be a couple more of us. But it turned out to be only me and this one girl.
Mhm.
And I don't know about you, but like for me, when I'm meeting someone new for the first time and when I am interviewing for something, or when I'm doing a speaking in a public forum, if I'm not performing, I get really nervous.
Mm.
And so the girl that I interviewed with, like the girl that was interviewing for the same position that I was, we interviewed together and I'm just like, dang, like she's doing really good. And she interviewed wonderfully. When she got the job, sis turned into something totally different.
Mm.
She was not the sweet, compassionate young woman in the interview. She turned into like, uh, okay, maybe she didn't turn into anything. Maybe she was just always this.
Mhm.
But sis had an attitude. She was late. She did what needed to be done in an interview,
Mhm.
essentially. And I'm here for it. But that's why I don't take first impressions as law because she bamboozled everybody.
I feel you there. Like, like me, I like to look at people for who they are and how they present themselves. I'm going to accept that as their baseline, and I'm going to assume that's who you are. And that even goes into professional spaces. And actually, even more recently, there's a job that I applied for. I also got the job. I know I had the job before I even left. Let's put it that way. Oh,
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you. So, and with this position, because I already knew what the starting salary was going to be, and of course, I was okay with it because I'm like, I'm still going to apply because I wanted to do it for the experience purposes. And in the interview, the hiring person, the supervisor, she's not going to be my direct supervisor, but she asked me what my salary range is. So I provided a range, and I'm thinking, okay, they're going to actually value me for my degrees and all this other stuff. Take account for everything that I've done. Most definitely, when you in the interview, you say, "Oh my gosh, you are extremely qualified for this position." So I'm expecting, oh, I'm going to get extremely qualified pay, and then they're just like, "Oh no, this is just what we start everybody off at." So why give me a salary range? Why ask the question? Because at that moment, you presented an option that I shouldn't even had. So that shows me that I cannot trust you, and you're not going to fight for me in the long run, because this is how you present yourself, and this is the follow-up of that presentation. So now I have to look at you in these two separate circumstances, and now the evidence that I have for you and your character means that you're not somebody I can depend on. You're not somebody that's going to actually fight for me. You're not going to be somebody who actually gives me the full truth. I honestly, walking into this space, I don't think I can even trust you. Luckily, I don't have to work under you, which is great. But I know if I ever need to get anything done, that you're not the person I need to come to.
She's not that girl.
Right. It's like those kind of things you have to, I look at, because it's like, yeah, whoever you present yourself as great, I love it for you. I love this presentation that you have, but I'm still always looking for what's the genuine side, because I understand when it comes to interviews, you have to put on a character. Honestly, I just stopped doing that. I just come to you if you have the questions. It is what it is, because I even like a few months ago, I was applying for a institution at a school, and they were like, "Oh, so why did you leave your last job?" And I literally told them because they were adding a lot of extra work that I was not comfortable with doing. So I left that position, and they didn't like that answer. And I was like, "Look, you want someone genuine? That's who I am. I'm not going to lie."
Do not like the truth.
Right. I don't get why there's that expectation that you lie about your experience with certain organizations, or why you left. I don't understand why people ask why you left. I left the job. Am I still there? That's it. It doesn't matter if I was fired. It doesn't matter if this happened. It doesn't matter if I quit on my own will. Like, it does not matter. The fact is, you are interviewing me because you felt the need that I fit this role, and I know that I will be great at this job. So let's communicate about how I can add to your organization, which is a lot. And if you don't see that worth and you don't want to see that worth, then fuck you.
Exactly.
It's like I'm not going to fight to be in any place that doesn't want me. Like that's
Exactly.
just how it is. Which is also how I treat my relationships, or how the people I engage with. If you don't want me, I'm not going to act like it. I'm not going to sugarcoat the fact that um just you have this, going back to the subject of the show, you have no facts on there, and you're reaching out to me. You're not going to see the value that I bring no matter what, because you already otherized me. You already told me I'm not worthy of your presence. And now you think I'm going to feel obligated to be with you as though that you are a gift to my life. Oh, no, 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 no. I got too many qualifications, too many certifications, and too many expectations for myself to fall into that trap.
Yeah, and it's weird because like, how do you even define what's fat and what's femme? And
Mm.
because I mean, I have an extensive closet, and if you were to go into my closet, you'd assume that two people lived in there. Well, one person, mm, I don't know, but yeah, it's kind of like someone left their things in my closet sometimes. Like you just wouldn't imagine that it belonged to the same person. But I don't know. It's weird. Like,
It
how
is.
do you find what's fat and what's femme? Because some days I wake up and I'm just like, ooh, she's a little fat today. But then a no fats, no femme person is like, suck. And I'm just like, ooh, ooh, I enjoy this. Okay. This is like a sport for me. So when people are like, oh, no fats, no femmes, and granted, I think majority of my photos are very accurate. Um, however, I think I am just regular. Like I'm just
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
But when I get a no fats, no femme person, I take it as my opportunity to educate.
Mm.
Like I listen, if they're like, hey, what's up? I'm like, nothing much. How are you? Like, that's the baseline for everybody. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we've established that I'm gonna treat you like I treat everyone else. Boom. That's step one. Step two, I'm gonna educate you. Okay. Sir, on your profile, it says A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I'm A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I don't think that I'm the person that you're looking for, period.
Mm.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had some people I've had to educate on that before too. It's like I'm just not like there's some people who actually prefer film, which is I love to see that. And they hit me up, and you know how I just have my hair all kinds of ways sometimes, and they're just like, "Oh, are you film?" No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't even like it when someone refer to my body parts as anything that's attached to a female or a vulva owner's body. I don't. It makes me uncomfortable. So I just can't go down that route with you.
You
But
know
it's
what?
like, huh?
I find it funny. Like it's hilarious to me and it's cute. But like it's funny because like I mean, at what point in your life do you get to be like, damn, you like this pussy daddy? Like, like
Like,
this is your pussy? This
like I don't. No, I don't. Don't call it that. No, no, no. That
Wait,
mix it up.
what about bussy with a B?
I still can't do that. That honestly, if I even hear that door sex, I'm gonna bust out laughing, and they're gonna. If your self esteem is hurt by that, that's on you. I'm dying. I'm going to be cackling so fucking hard, and I'm just like, you know what? This has been it's been something. It's time. You know what? I'm sick right now. I ate some ice cream earlier today.
The Briars is kicking in.
Look, the hateration and in this dancery is about to get bubbly. I can't.
Ben and Jerry are texting me right now.
We good, fam. Thank you so much for showing up and showing out. You were great. You were great. You know, I have a I have my person connect with you about any kind of callbacks, you know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out. I'll
A
CC you
Zoom
in that
meeting,
email. Huh?
a Zoom conference.
Like, I just like for those who are comfortable with that, I love that. I love y'all continue to have your bussies. Get your bussies bust. Like,
It's crazy. I mean, but I'm here for it.
right. Y'all do y'all. I
Yeah.
love it for y'all. But it's like it amazes me. Like I literally had to, I won't say coach somebody, but just tell somebody, look, I read your profile, we can have a conversation, because we've already been having a wonderful conversation. That's great. But I'm definitely not what you're looking for. I'm not. If we hook up and have sex and it's not going to be what you think it is, it's, let's not. Let's save the trouble and just not go forward and just let that be great. And some
Oh,
people can't handle that.
so explain what the assumption was, because I think the listeners would like to know.
Okay, so I love lacy clothing, so that's already one
Mm,
thing. And
we stand
then
a body stocking.
ooh, and then I colored my hair blue, and that's one of my profile pics, because I cannot wait until my locks are fully locked so I can actually start coloring a lot more. And then I also had some pictures with what else did I have? I think those were the only ones I had up at the time, and just picture with me regularly with my locks and growing. And people will just slide into the DMs and whatnot, and just be like, hey, you interested in hooking up and stuff like that. And I read over their profile, they're just like, oh, they're looking for a film, and I'm just like, hey, um I'm open to meeting up, but just a heads up, I'm not a feminine presenting person. I'm not femme at all. I do identify as masculine. So it is, if that's an issue, then let it be an issue. If not, okay, we can figure some shit out. And for some of those who are more open to moving forward, it ends whenever I ask for a face pic, and that's what and that's that on that. So
Right. I don't know if you asked me, but I think the people out there would like to know how I identify.
yes, how do you
And
identify?
I am a proud, proudly trans rich. Okay. Yes. Pre-op. Again, that's trans rich pre-op. If you if you would like to help my transition, I greatly appreciate it.
Oh God. Okay.
My pronouns are direct deposit, cash app me,
Cash tag.
funds pending,
Check cleared.
and I officially would like to go by deposited. I don't think the girls are ready for that.
Oh my God.
They're not ready for that conversation.
My throat hurts from laughing too hard. Oh my God. Yes, for being trans rich. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Oh God. What if somebody says that they're not into trans? So does that mean they're not going to be, so no
Well,
trans rich?
I don't think that they would. I don't think I fit in the category of trans. Like,
You're right. You're
you
right.
know, I just think that labels are for people that need to have labels.
Mm. And I, we actually have an episode coming up about labels, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. It's going to be coming up. Yeah, we do. We do. It's further on down the line, but ooh, that's going to be. I think that's where that conversation came from, anyways.
Right. That's right.
Oh God, I'm here for it. Yes, yes, for the trans rich individuals,
Mhm.
and that's another thing. Most definitely, because when it does come to trans people on these dating apps, I've noticed a lot more love for trans people for real. Which I love to see that happening. But I also see. some aspects of, no trans, but still have like the concept of still no mask, no art, or no film in there too. And that's the thing that I don't. I'd be wanting to ask these people who just like no films and whatnot and see what their thoughts are when it comes to someone who may be trans, like a few are against feminine people. Are you open to trans men? Because a lot of trans men are masculine presenting. So are you against them as well? Because you see them as women in this moment, or do you see them for who they are, which is a man? So it's like, or I feel like some of those same people might not even be able to compartmentalize that or even comprehend what's going on in that moment. So
Listen, there are some sexy trans men out here in these streets.
fine as fuck.
Oh, MG.
Oh my God. You know,
And I think for me, because vagina
mhm.
isn't my cup of tea, I'm not sure that would be the route for me. However, I do kind of fancy the idea of being able to, I fancy the idea of being able to pick the penis size.
Mm.
Like that that's intriguing for me. Like just imagine if you met a guy, right?
Mhm.
And he was perfect. And you guys get into a committed relationship and you've never done it before the and you've never seen it before and he whips it out and it's just like humongous.
Mhm.
And I'm not a size queen. I've just not reached that point in my career where I'm able to take on such large roles. However, wouldn't it be nice if you met someone and then they were just like, yeah, um, you get to pick what size I am downstairs.
Mm. Well, as the podcast listeners already know, I am totally into trans men and I am open to having me a top trans daddy. And just find me. I would love to see it pop up, pull up. Because look, I will say one thing. I know vagina is not your cup of tea, but you can make that shit in a tea bag for me and I'll drink the shit. I'm here for it.
Really?
Oh, it's a tasty thing. It's a beautiful
Talk
thing.
about it.
Ciao. So I don't really meet up with many women or even vulva owners. I will say that, but that does not mean I will not. And I love planning pussy. I will be real. I enjoy it. I love the feel of it. From the clitoris to the labia to the inner velvety feel with inside of the vaginal canal. I love the taste. I love it. Pussy is delicious. It heals the soul.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Okay. It would be just my luck to try it once.
Mhm.
Become a father. Just my luck.
Well,
Just my
look,
luck.
that's when the pussy snatched the soul.
And I have no doubt that it would. I've heard stories. I've seen things.
Well, like,
Jeez.
but it's I will say pussy is not for everybody. It's not for heterosexual men because I don't understand how y'all can be heterosexual for this long and still not know how to treat a pussy. I just don't. I do not understand that math is not. These heterosexual men are gay. I said it. It is what it is. Fight me,
How
nigga.
you
Fight
think
me,
they keep hitting the wrong hole all the time?
child.
Because it's like a magnet. The ass is the magnet. Right, right, right.
Right, right.
Doesn't that make sense?
It makes sense. It makes sense. Let me stop. Somebody's gonna be like, "How dare you shame heterosexual men? How dare heterosexuals shame everything else that's not heteronormative? It's okay.
Right,
It is what it
girl.
is. We love you. We love you. regardless of how you really feel about people on the LGBTQ plus community, we don't give a damn enough about y'all to hate you. So let's be real. It's okay.
Because I see you. I see you. You're seen.
I can't.
This is a safe space, men.
Come to me and come. Ooh. But I really that's one reason why I really hate the concept of toxic masculinity, is the fact that there are plenty of men out here who subscribe to that so much that they forget that the woman has pleasure zones, and their pleasure matters too. And it's a lot of feminine presenting people in heteronormative relationships who are just being left out on a lot of things, and I hate that for them, and I know that they deserve better, and I hope they do find better. And I just hope the typical heterosexual man does better for their partners, and that's it.
But you know what? On the flip side of that, on the flip side, there are a lot of heterosexual men that have been taught to be a certain way, and that have not had the opportunity to learn their own bodies, and have been deemed to become these pleasure robots for people that don't deserve them. And Black man, white man, Asian man, any other man, you do not have to live up to someone else's expectation of what you're supposed to be.
Amen to that. Ooh, that goes back to the outgoing message that I'll be saying. You know, you may not live up to the expectations of others, but that is okay, because it is okay. Live up to your own expectations. And there's actually something that we're supposed to be going to Never Have I Ever, but there's something that I've been reading up on, or was it in the podcast? It was something. The information was circulating. Okay, let's put it that way. Of how there's anxiety. This was an article I read. There we go. I'm back on it. So there's anxiety around the expectation for sex, which does keep people from having pleasurable sex, because they feel as though that they're expected to perform a certain way, or provide good sex. And all I'm here to say is, get out your heads. Just enjoy the sex in the moment. Don't focus on how yes, your partner's pleasure is important. Your pleasure is important as well, but don't be so hyper focused on the pleasure that you lose sense of, or start to feel anxious in everything that you're doing within that sexual encounter. Relax, take a deep breath, start slow, work things through, communicate with your partner, talk to them, ask them, hey, is this feeling good to you? Learn the erogenous zones. And, you know, erogenous zones is different from every person, but you do have, like, you know, the back of somebody's leg. For some people, that's too much. So for others, it's just right. Just knowing those things. I almost gave a cheat sheet. Nobody, y'all not getting that.
What are your erogenous zones?
Oh, so mine, like, if ear nibbling does it for me, like, literally, if I'm just chilling and not paying any attention, and you just come out of nowhere and you just like start sucking on my earlobe and shit, we fucking. That's all I know. Like, you touched the right button and it said fuck, and look, what's up? you got too close. You start doing the right shit and we fucking now. Go ahead, take that shit off. What's up? But
yeah,
what about
I
you?
agree. Like, for me, it's definitely that space between, like, the earlobe and your clavicle. Like, if you breathe the wrong way, I become a total power top, and you're getting fucked. Okay, so don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Look, so learn your partner's spots, people. Learn them. If you know if you know you're not having, if you feel as though you're not having enough sex in your life, and you know that one thing that really gets your partners good, ready and going first, make sure you set the mood. And by setting the mood, make sure when they come home, the atmosphere is well enough that they stumble into something, knowing that they're not going to have to stress about anything. If that means if they're cleaning up the house on a regular basis, you come home early, you clean that shit up, and they don't have to do that. They walk up in there, oh my God, it's clean. Oh, yeah, I got home early. It's all good. That's one less thing that they have to worry about. Find that spot. Cheat sheets.
You know, as a pre-op trans wealthy person, another one of my erogenous zones is my Cash App. Oh, and if you get to that PayPal family and friends, oh my God. Just I'm a puddle of melted chocolate at that point. At that point, I'm just putty.
I'm done. I quit, y'all. This is the last episode of the Soliloquy podcast because this motherfucker is it's too much. I cannot. I'm joking. I love it here. I love it here. So, are you ready for some Never Have I Ever?
Yes.
So, never have I ever been to a nude beach or resort.
No, I haven't, but I would love to have a Golden Girls moment.
Wait, what golden? What? I have not watched all the episodes. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so there's this episode where where they all go to this resort, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all there for the weekend. They get there, they're checking in, and everyone is naked, right?
Yes.
And then they're fully clothed, and they're just like, oh my God, we've come to a nudist resort. And then they finally muster up the courage at dinner time to, don their birthday suits.
Yes.
And they get down to the lobby and everyone is fully clothed. And I remember there's a part where I guess the waiter or whoever was like, we always dress for dinner. And like, yeah, you gotta go watch the episode. You gotta watch it.
I do, but look, I have not been to a nude beach or resort yet, but I am definitely willing to do that. And there's plans. This is a great way to announce this. There are plans in December to go to Hedonism. Sharita, a friend of mine who's also been on the show, she actually let me know about training that they'll be doing there. And I'm trying to partake in those events. So I'm also going to probably do like an announcement or something like that on the podcast, let everybody know, or just follow us on Twitter. It will be on there too. So definitely be on the lookout for hedonism activities. That's going to be coming up in December because we showing up. Hedonism is in Jamaica too. New resort. So we walking around nude and just being happy and just body positive, sex positive, because I'm going to be a hoe. I'm just being real. But
you're going to get your groove back, Stella?
Oh, child. Fuck a fucking groove. I'm getting a disco back. Like
Maybe that is okay. So one of my favorite parts in that movie is when they're at that little party and there's this random lady with her titties out, and it's like they're having a blast, and Whoopi Goldberg is in there. She's chilling. It's just like everything.
And that's gonna be me with my titties out. So, how about a would you rather?
Okay.
So, would you rather have public sex in a nearly empty sports stadium during a game, or have sex in a darkened but crowded movie theater?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. I don't know. That's okay. Am I topping or bottoming?
That's up to you to decide.
Because if I'm topping, I think I would be okay with either of those situations. But how am I going to make that happen?
Child, I've seen videos.
Because as the bottom, you're assuming most of the risk. Because I mean, when you're topping, you just unzip your fly.
Mm-hmm.
But at the bottom, you gotta just pull
It
it
could be
off.
oral.
Oh, oral. Oh, oral. Oral.
Mm-hmm.
Sign me up for both then. Oral, yeah. 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 Yeah.
I
I just don't want to be on the Jumbotron. Like, how do you know when they're not recording?
well, the one with the stadium is in a empty, a nearly empty parking lot. Wait.
Oh, nearly empty parking lot.
Oh, it says, hold on, it says public sex in a nearly empty sports stadium. Oh, that's in the stadium. Never mind. You're right. You're right. Jumbotron might come up. You're right.
Oh man, what if the kiss cam hovers over you and it's just like
Child, that's what they upgrade to the fuck cam.
you got 5,000 going on there?
Look, if you ain't sucking his dick when this comes on, you ain't doing it right. Ooh, ooh.
Freaknik 2022.
See, this is why I cannot be in the NBA in their in any of their marketing teams, because I will have a sex work night. I will have a freak night,
Yes.
because it's like,
Like
look,
ban all the families from coming, like just sex workers only.
look, and this is pay-per-view, and what's going on? You got to pay for that shit. And yes, we having fuck cams, we having oral cams, we having anal
Yes.
cams. When the shit when it comes on you, if you ain't doing what's on that fucking screen, you ain't doing it right.
And then have someone like get your social media handles at like the beginning so like they can film for you and release the content to you in exchange for like just a little small NBA logo on your OnlyFans. Like
Child.
the,
That's
the
that's how you
Bucks.
that's how you normalize
Is
sexuality.
is that a team? The Bucks?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the fucks that night.
Yeah. And the Cleveland Browns. Wait, that's football, ain't it?
I think so.
Hmm. Football is a homoerotic sport.
Oh, it definitely is. Oh, it's homoerotic as fuck, which is so hilarious to me whenever I be listen to homophobes talk. I'm just like, okay, y'all enjoying that?
Baby, to be a sender,
Look,
that's the best position to be in.
like I just know Odell Beckham Jr. I'm still waiting on you to just pull the fuck up. It is what it is. You will forever be the person on my list that I have full access to. So it doesn't matter. You can call me in 50 years. If you still got the motion in your ocean, we can make some shit pop off. It's okay. It
You
is what
know,
it is.
both of our men done had babies on us. Because
Which one is yours?
Von Miller just had a baby too, not too long ago. And I'm just like, God damn.
Oh yeah.
Damn, Von, I gotta be a stepdaddy. Okay. I'll take it.
That sounds. We need to do that celebrity crush episode soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't think they're ready.
They not. So, how about a sex question?
Okay.
So, how important is sex to you, and how long have you gone without sex?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 4.
Hmm.
It's not that important. Like I don't have to have it. But intimacy is important. So I would probably rate that at about an 8.
Mm.
How long have I gone without it? I've been without it for years at a time.
Mm.
Yeah.
I would say for myself, I will have to say the importance of sex. Well, my life revolves around sex at this point, but like actually engaging in sex, I will give it a 7.5. Because I can go without it, but having access to it is a little bit like regular access to it is a little bit more not in the mood to have sex when I have regular access than when I'm like having to go out here and find people, because that's when it becomes annoying.
So you rather have your juice in the refrigerator and not be thirsty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like even when I was like in my previous relationship, even when it comes to me having my regular or when I whatever the fuck is going on right now, I'm not looking for sex as often, probably once a week or every other week or something. I might be looking to have sex, but other than that, I'm not frequently. Hmm?
Once a week. Oh my gosh, that's so much.
Oh, it's not. That's only 52 times a year. Like what?
52 times a year? Oh my gosh.
But like even if I'm like in a committed relationship and it's not with the poly twist or have that openness to it, I can go months without having sex and it's fine because I'm not going to be looking for other people to have sex with. I can enjoy it a lot more when I'm with that partner. But I do
I'm
like to
open to
have
being in
regular
a
access.
poly relationship.
Huh?
I think I could have two boyfriends.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh,
And they could
and
be each other's boyfriend, but they better not do nothing without me. Then I'm gonna be like, fuck y'all doing.
it's a committed relationship, I hope.
I
Let them
don't
do what they
know.
need to do.
I
You
don't
the one
know.
you're the one in the situation that requires sex less. Let them be great. Not this
I don't
face.
know.
I'm done. I will say about how the longest I've gone without sex is 2.5 years, and this is after losing my virginity. So yeah, it was 2.5 years without sex, and that was perfectly fine. And that was a process of a lot of self discovery too. So made it work. But other than that, outside of that break, I would say 6 months was like the longest time. But then there's the some of those little dry periods of when I'm actually looking for sex but can't find sex or my circumstances are not matching so that I can have the sex that I want. Hashtag pandemic. Uh, so
The girls were out here masking up,
mm-mm,
and mm,
they was
it
not.
was an era.
They was being messy in the
But you
places I
know
was
what I
at.
don't understand?
What?
There were a couple of the girls were putting glory holes in their masks.
I'm done. You know, the thing that really got me during this pandemic is that there are some people who are just like, oh, I can't, I have to wear my mask in your presence, but still willing to fuck you raw. What?
They out here
I was like, whoa, wait, the math? Are we even in math? Are we in physics?
in the
Like,
paranormal. They out here in the paranormica.
I was like, this is too much. How you over here protecting yourself from COVID, but not protecting yourself from STIs?
In the panorama.
Right. I'm just like, y'all trying to be comorbidities. I don't got the time for that. Y'all do what you want to do. Be well, be happy, be lifted. Float, motherfuckers, float. I can't. No Lord. All right. So on that note, Quentin, do you have any advice, any kind words, or any inspirational thoughts that you would like to share with the audience before we close this motherfucker out?
Mm. Go forth in love. Do everything with good and kind intentions. And if it pisses you off, find the humor in it.
I like that. Yes, yes. And just not actually to piggyback off of that, but just remind y'all that 1,000 subscriber thing is still going on. It's official now. It is official. Y'all might as well get these numbers to 1,000. Get 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 reviews, 1,000 ratings, all of that on whatever platform that you're using to listen to this podcast, because we're going to do this live show. I will definitely send out a pin so that everybody knows what the what the code is, so that y'all can access this live showing and even manipulate some vibrations. Let's go with that. So you might as well. You might as well. Um, on that note, thank you all so much for listening to the Holiloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. Just in case no one else told you this today, you are beautiful. You are worthy of happiness and joy. You are enough and then some. You may not live up to the expectations of others, but that is okay. You are only required to walk in your own shoes. May each day you live lead you towards abundance. With that said, love you all and see you next episode. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Holiloquy Podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.holiloquy.com. That's www.heauxliloquy.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.